You're tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at BringingDownTheBand.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 157 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7. I make great beats, and hopefully I can get into Decademics soon to venture down other paths of greatness across the way. Rocking the fresh neighborhood nip shirt. I see you over there alone, repping section leaders 𝗀𝗱𝗱, professor at Decademics, music producer, and founder of BringingDownTheBand.com. My man Lonegevity. How are you, sir?
Hi, Mike. I'm well.
Love that shirt, man. It's dope design as well.
It is.
Shout out to the homie Mike. He snapped on that. Across the table, fresh to death as always, DJ Extraordinaire, CEO of Printfinity, and also longtime contributor to Bringing Down the Band, my man DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
What's happening, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing.
How your mama doing?
She doing.
That's good.
Appreciate you asking.
No doubt.
To my immediate left, rocking the Bears gear as always, DJ Extraordinaire as well, avid Chicago sports fanatic. I call him. He's in control of his life.
It's true.
Incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
What's good, son?
Oh, man. Doing well. How are you?
Good to see you as always, man. That hat's fresh, brother. You rap. I see you.
Likewise. Hey, man. My team is my team.
Yep. Old True Bisky.
It always comes back to this guy.
On the couch, locked and loaded as well. Former radio personality, the voice of Indianapolis, the master of ceremonies himself, the one and only Jay Moore. He's here.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother, as always.
You know.
Yeah, as Ice Cube would say.
You should you should add to your
I'm taking notes every week. What's up?
master of self.
Master of
of
self?
production. You could be master of trolling.
Okay, I could do that. For me or
Yeah.
for Jay Moore?
For you.
For me, okay.
Or master of. Never mind.
I see what you're going to do there.
I ain't gonna do you like
Don't
that.
do me like that, man. We better than that,
Yeah,
man.
we are.
Are we?
I think.
And the master of.
The master of. Episode 157.
Terry could be master of Fraiche.
Master of Fraiche?
Fraiche to death.
Fraiche to death.
Yeah, he is Fraiche. He's a Fraiche.
No, our Fraiche is like a cologne.
Oh, word?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
shit.
so there's levels to cologne. So a Fraiche scent
Okay.
is more
This is wisdom.
alcohol-y. So
Okay.
it has more of an alcohol
Base.
and it's
Okay.
more light. It doesn't tend to last all day. Just
Gotcha.
a little cologne
So
knowledge
then-
for
I
you.
like cologne a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good
So what
thing.
is the other side of it? Oil based?
So
what I
no,
was-
you have our Fraiche, you have eau de toilette.
Hey.
So that's what I've seen the most of.
Okay, that has alcohol in it as well.
Okay.
You have a perfume.
Okay.
That has more of an oil base in it.
That's
Tends
gonna
to
last
last
longer.
more, and it's
Yes.
more expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Makes sense.
There's another one too I'm missing, but
I feel like-
there's levels.
You talking about like the essential oils type stuff?
No, I just meant in colognes in general, like what separate, because I've seen eau de parfum,
Yeah,
eau
there's
de
eau de
toilette, and I
toilette.
didn't know that Fraiche was one. I was just trying to say fresh.
Which one is
Yeah.
cool water?
Cool
So-
water is a toilette.
I'm a
which
fan
one is,
of,
is
shout to
Jupe?
my, what, go ahead.
Which
Jupe?
one is Jupe?
That's probably a toilette.
Okay.
Jay Diff, let me ask you this. Did you buy into the concept of, as a young man, did you buy into the concept of the Michael Jordan cologne? Where they said it smelled like the basketball and
Well, you know what?
this was a part of the marketing. It
That
definitely was part
probably
of the marketing.
was my junior year.
Uh-huh.
I had a bottle of Michael Jordan.
I remember when
cologne.
that came
It was
out.
subpar, wasn't it?
It was. It smelled like Jim.
I had a bottle of Michael Jordan cologne as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I thought
I
that
enjoy a good I like
It wasn't bad.
the NYC brand.
Okay.
That's good shit. That's mostly, it's pretty,
Yeah,
it's
back
mostly
in high school,
parfums.
I think I was a curve abuser. I
Hey.
did a lot of curves.
Oh, I was too.
Tommy Hilfiger, Yoop, Cool
Yep.
Water,
Old
CK1.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Polo,
Okay.
CK1. Yep. I was-
Eternity or Obsession. I like those.
Eternity
Yeah.
and Aqua de Gio.
Hey.
Yeah,
I've
those
been
were-
wearing Armani Mania for 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of harder to come by now
Yeah,
because they push the code and all that other shit.
yeah. I got a dumb fragrance collection that my wife is telling me I need to cut back on.
I've got about 6 or 7 bottles. Different
Nah,
bottles.
mine is different.
Oh, it's
Wow.
different.
Is it
Excuse
way
me.
more?
Yes.
I only have 2, which I
That's
go back
crazy.
and forth between.
Everybody has a vice.
Yeah.
Like Pie by 𝗀𝗲𝗱.
Oh, you balling? Okay.
If I got it like that, or 𝗏𝗡, it's Japanese.
Oh,
That's kind of what my go-to is now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do a
it's
little.
above my pay grade.
Do a little Tom
There's somebody
Ford
listening
cherry.
like, what about Axe body spray?
I can't do that. Little Tom Ford cherry.
Okay.
Little
How many bottles would you say you have on the counter right now?
man. In the closet because I try to hide it.
Okay.
So,
Just give me
but
a ballpark
it's been
figure.
it's a collection over years though.
Oh.
Well, they go bad after a
Yeah.
while, don't they?
Not really if you store them right. They
Yeah.
Oh.
Just don't leave them
gotta
in the heat
keep-
of the cold.
Yeah. Killian is one of my favorite houses.
Killian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to wear
definitely.
chrome.
I remember
I
Chrome.
fuck
Yeah.
with Chrome.
Any one of these brands that want to reach out to the homies, by all means, we'll take care of y'all. on
Y'all
the ads
smell
and
it through
whatnot.
the camera.
Yeah.
If they want a sponsorship, we definitely,
Word.
I'm talking about,
Say that.
say that.
But yeah, I don't have a number, man. I don't know.
Okay.
Dolce and Gabbana,
20.
the one.
That's a good one.
Is one that I've
Yeah, I got
still
that.
rock.
I got Dolce
That's a
the
good
one.
Gucci Guilty. Still
I
rock
don't have that one.
sometimes.
I have what is the one that light blue? So
Yeah.
there's a light blue, there's a regular Dolce. I got all that shit, man.
I
It's
think
still-
Jay
Yeah,
Moore
man.
probably.
Sounds like you're quite the collector, sir.
Yeah.
Kanye West has a cologne.
Oh.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think I'm cool on that.
Yeah, I
one.
saw it at Burlington Coat Factory.
Yep.
Okay.
It's probably where it should be.
Can I buy from
Jay
him?
Moore strike me as a
Yeah,
person that the older people in your family smack their hands like that with that brute. Like I could see Jay Moore doing that.
Brute,
Yeah.
though?
By
Yeah.
Fabergé.
Yeah, I
You
could
just
see-
you just said your whole family wears Brute.
I did not say that.
You
Now-
seem like the kind
now
of
I
guy
Yeah,
whose whole
you
family
just
wears
really
Brute.
cast aspersions on my
Yeah,
family's
man,
fragrance
damn.
choices.
Nah, man, I didn't mean to come out that way.
Yeah, that's how I came
Are
out.
you an
though.
Old Spice
fucked
guy?
up. That's fucked
My
up.
allergies
some,
are.
some Stetson or some English leather.
Some English leather.
Damn. That's probably everybody's first cologne. Remember the colognes
Mine
that
was
used to come in
Stetson.
the old looking car and it would sit sideways.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Pour all that shit in your hand.
Yes, sir.
Go to
Put it
school
on.
smelling like an old ass man.
Hey, these women think you smelling good.
Shout out to everybody in the hood as kids that used to say obsession.
Obsession.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jovan Musk.
Man.
Go
I
to
gotta-
Walgreens and get your smell well
That's
together.
right.
Straight up.
Get
My
a box.
first
Get a
was-
box set
Shout out to
with the
Obsession.
lotion and the aftershave.
Oh
and-
yeah,
All that shit.
Yeah.
I can't fuck with the aftershaves and lotions and
I
shit.
mean, shoot, you get that for a good criminal present.
I'm
Got everything
cool. I'm
together.
cool on that
Man.
shit.
I'm gifting
I'm
that
cool.
back to somebody
Yeah,
else.
I'll take the cologne part. I'm cool on
You
the
can have
lotions
the
and shampoo.
lotion.
Nah, I'm cool.
That's like the curve used to come like that.
Yeah.
People used to buy me the curve
I didn't
stuff.
fuck with that shit though.
I didn't either.
I didn't like her.
Y'all
Years
threw the
after.
lotion, y'all threw the rest of the
I'm not.
gift pack
It's
away?
water, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
It's
okay.
water and
I did
scent.
Cool Water when I was in like middle school.
Mine was high school. And then I just kind of grew out of it.
Yeah.
But
When I heard Snoop say "cool water," that shows you the power.
Oh,
of
for
hip-hop.
sure.
That's
That's
how
a
I
good
wound
point.
up.
Well, you know,
getting some
Creed.
Cool Water.
Cool Water. There's a Creed that smells exactly like Cool Water.
Word.
It just smells like a more expensive Cool Water.
Gotcha.
And it came out before. I want to say it's called something French. I can't pronounce it right now. I don't want to
Okay.
butcher it.
oh,
Okay.
wow.
But yeah, I'm not gonna
Stop,
tell
man.
all my
Yeah,
secret
you ain't gotta
weapons that
tell
I
all
got.
of it. Yeah.
Cause yeah, it's just some shit that you're gonna have to figure out on your own.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
A man's journey through cologne.
Keep that tucked in. I can respect it. I can respect it. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the rundown. Let's see. Ye is in the news. Ye is in the news.
Who's that now?
Yay.
I love that. Mr. West dropped his album,
Mr. West, Mr. West.
Jesus is King. He's a 100% Christian now and quote unquote doing the Lord's work.
You see him in the interview when he said bitch and then he tried to say
Christian scorecard. It's like
he's like yeah, I
did
know
a lot of
I'm up
cussing.
here using expletives and
sorry, y'all, my Christian scorecard. I was
This
like, all
is
right,
funny.
cool, fam. So I got a couple. You want to start with the album first before some of
The
the
antics.
quotes that I was able to pull to kind of put a bow on everything. Do we want to go
However
the
you
album
want to
route?
do it, man. You can do that first.
Let's go album route. I listened to it actually. First time I listened to it was actually driving, because I kept hearing it was short. I hadn't listened to it until today. Like driving over here is when I got a
You
chance
just
to listen to
now
it.
listen to it?
I told you I've been consistent. I have no
I think you
interest.
just did it just in spite.
I don't really care. Yeah. But I did listen for the sake of us having this conversation. I don't see what the fanfare is about. Musically, it's cool. Good moments here and there. The choir singing their ass off though. Some talented people, great voices, great arrangements as well. So I guess that's what stood out to me the most. But overall, I didn't hear anything that was just super special, super impressive to me as a whole. I mean, it's cool. Like, I probably won't run it. If I do, it'll be here and there. But it's all right. I wasn't that impressed. Lone, what you think?
I thought it was one of his better pieces in the last decade. Now, the thing is that doesn't really say much.
Doesn't say much at all.
I gave it about a 6.5 overall. I thought the production on it, musically, sonically, I thought it was actually all right.
𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐿 for the record. 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐿.
I had turned it off because it started to sound like a car door.
It definitely was a car
I started laughing out loud to myself. I was like, wait, ding, ding, ding. It just hit me. But I didn't make it to the solo. So I didn't. I turned it off and then I went back and listened to the last song real quick. But it wasn't that short. I mean, it was short, but
7 minutes, I think.
Well, it had like 10 songs. I guess the songs are just short.
Yeah.
11.
Well, I guess
11
the last
records.
one don't really count because it's like less than a minute.
Okay.
But content-wise, it seemed almost a little forced to me. Just the whole narrative of what he was doing. If that's the path he wants to go, good for him. I'm cool off a Christian rap album. I didn't know if it was going to be a gospel album or if it was going to be a rap album. I guess it was more so rap, obviously. But
yeah. I think he's calling it a rap album.
But it wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't like it was better than his last project. It was better than the one before that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
those were pretty. Yeah.
But will I listen to it again? No,
Probably not.
No.
Jay Diff.
No.
That's your verdict. Listen.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Make it make sense now.
I'm going to definitely make it make sense.
Make it make
man.
sense for me.
So, the Jesus is King album
Yes.
came out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it to actually show up, but here it is. I actually like this album. I'm not even gonna front.
I respect
Like
it.
musically, the production on there to me is very good.
Yeah, I like it too.
I really like the production on this album, and I'm gonna keep it 100 because I always do with Kanye songs, even on his last albums that some people may not say aren't as good as this one. Father Stretch My Hands, production on that is fucking amazing, right?
Agree.
But his verse
Trash.
is what kind of kills it. Some of that applies to this album as well. It's just his writing or lack thereof on the songs. Follow God is a glimpse of old Kanye, in my opinion. The way he structured that, the way he wrote it, it was nice. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's actually one that stood out to me.
The
What's
one
that?
where he's
Towards the
talking
middle?
about it's track number 3.
Okay.
It's the one where he's talking about he spazzed on his dad and his dad told him it wasn't Christ-like.
Samples chopped up. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that. That one stood out to me.
That one's really good. I like Water.
Musically, that's incredible.
I like On God.
Those are two that stood out for me.
I like the 𝐻$sign one. I had already heard that one though. The 𝐻$sign, Everything We Need, and the Used Gospel. I had heard those because I think those were supposed to be featured on Yandhi. So when the Yandhi leak start coming out or whatever, there were unfinished versions of those songs.
Oh, okay.
But to me, sonically, it's amazing. Verse wise, no. Singing wise, no. As a whole,
The choir?
no. Kanye.
Oh, you talking about
singing.
him? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he shouldn't let somebody else do that.
100%.
He
I don't
needs to
think
get-
I don't think Push's verse was synced right either.
I think on
it
that
sounded
on that
goofy.
what throws it off is that car sound. Because
But I mean,
sometimes that
but-
doesn't sound like his own all
I
the
think the
time.
actual
But
vocals.
I think his delivery at points didn't seem like it synced up. Like maybe it wasn't originally on that beat.
Probably was because like the first time I heard that song, he didn't have a verse on it. And Kenny G wasn't on there either.
This is my remix here because I do a lot of remixes, so I'm used to hearing vocals that don't line up quite right. And it just something was just like
There's a lot of subtleties that come with that too.
Yeah.
It's very small.
And he could have featured me and Spoolz was talking about this earlier. He should have had Serving Mike on that mug.
For sure.
Jesus Christ. Definitely should have been a Jesus Christ feature on that joint.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Lecrae is tickled somewhere at the amazement from this project. I'm sure he's very tickled.
I'm sure Kirk Franklin is.
Yeah.
And Kirk Franklin appeared on the album before last. So he's Kirk Franklin and Chance the Rapper. So it's almost like he's been taken from them and now he decided he wanted to be this new Kirk Franklin.
What's crazy
We'll
about
see how it goes.
What's crazy about Chance
that would
is
suggest that Kanye's not really a real Christian.
what's crazy.
I mean, that's possible because what's the name well, you can't really say that. He was addicted to porn for a minute, but that don't make him not a Christian.
Your flaws are not what keep you from being.
Who's this?
Kirk
I'm
Franklin.
talking about Kirk Franklin.
But what is it? Is addicted to porn like you didn't notice that the sun went down?
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
wonder
that's
what that
it.
looks like.
Like, or just because you like to see Pinky busted open for a real one every blue moon when you got some free time. I don't know if that's an addiction.
Now that right there is pure comedy.
Maybe he just wasn't
You
getting
didn't notice
shit
the sun
done
went
during.
down. That's
He couldn't do
amazing.
nothing but porn.
You know
all
what's
day.
you know what's
Porn
crazy?
and corn.
You know what's crazy though? You mentioned you stupid. You mentioned Chance, and the irony for me is I know some Kanye fans that all I heard was, oh man, don't nobody want to hear Chance talk about God and his wife for a whole album. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. And now it's like, this is the most amazing thing ever. I'm like, okay, cool. And it's typical Yeezy Stan fashion. Everything he does is unprecedented. And I'm like, Lecrae's probably somewhere laughing. Chance definitely is probably
Lecrae got a
like,
Grammy off his shit though.
He
so
did. He's dope,
probably
though.
ain't tripping.
but yeah, I know a lot of people that was dissing Chance. I'm like, oh, okay. Now everything is cool.
I think what a lot of that
is
that-
probably tripping. He put out a whole gospel album a year and a change some change
last
ago?
year.
And
Yeah.
his reasoning behind it was I grew up listening to all different types of music, so I wanted to just pay homage to gospel. End of
Who's
story.
this?
Snoop.
Is Lecrae the cat that he does have a song where he's talking to Mike Servant on the phone at the beginning
I
of
don't
it?
think
No,
so.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think he
Somebody
has
has a
anything
track.
new out since Mike Servant been out.
It's been a minute. At least that I've heard,
Yeah,
but Lecrae's dope.
yeah, he's nice. He is nice though.
I'll check him out.
Spoolz, did you get a chance to peep?
I listened to a couple of songs, and I think your guys' assessment's really good. And I agreed with just the two songs. I don't have like a big opinion, but really liked the production. I just thought it was cool. Sounded really good. But Kanye again, and we've talked about this a lot just over 3 years. Like he's rarely, if ever, grabbed me lyrically, and again, this just went towards that. It just
Kanye's not a lyrical.
You've
dude.
always said that too.
so.
But
So
he
I
was
can agree
early
with you on
on.
that.
But early on, he wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like
He
was
just tried to add little punchlines here and there, like the mayonnaise whip. Call it. I mean, mayonnaise.
The dude's always been a relatively. I think he's an incredible producer.
but he snapped on joints. Like he snapped on that Dilated People's joint.
Yeah.
He was
I'm
good
not-
on
I'm
Selfish.
words.
I'm not gonna hold you
Yeah.
back. Early Kanye, he was snapping to me.
But
He
the
was
last
never a
decade,
lyricist, though.
decade though,
No,
Yeah.
he hasn't snapped on anything
Yeah,
since.
I'm not gonna front.
My
Early
Beautiful,
on,
yeah.
he was in his bag, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. I understand. We've talked about it a bunch, but no. I'll give it. I'll listen to the rest of it, and like I don't have like. That's cool, man. Like if he wants to rap about Jesus and like he's into
Yeah.
it, that's cool.
That's his prerogative, no doubt.
I got a little bit of a one of the tracks I listened to because I've been listening to a lot of blues over the past couple years, and it's not a blues vibe that I wouldn't call it that, but like the lyrics just weren't as powerful as a lot of older blues shit and stuff like that. But there was a blues like essence to the structure of the way the lyrics were put together, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of repetition. You know what I mean? And things like that. It's just those lyrics weren't hitting hard. You know what I mean? Like what he was talking about just wasn't, I don't know, man. You still see some of that narcissism. You still see, I mean, that's just him though, you know, but.
I mean, he said he's the best living artist
of all time. Yeah.
Just because someone.
And I rest my case.
Yeah. But it's just like, just because somebody, you know, turns their life over to God or whatever, that doesn't a lot of times mean they're going to stop being the person
For
that
sure.
they are.
100%.
And I think that's what a thing that Kanye struggles with. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys have ever had this. Like in college, maybe somebody decides to find they get religious, and then that's all they can talk about. But then they still slip into who they were up until that point.
Let me holler at you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's just
true.
what it is.
I mean, here are a couple of quotes that I pulled from. I guess these are interviews. I think I saw on my timeline one floating around with Big Boy.
Yeah.
And then what's my man name?
That's the only.
What's the white guy's name? Zane Lowe.
Yeah, the one on Apple Music.
I only saw clips. I didn't watch anything.
I see it on my timeline, but I haven't had a chance to actually watch the entire interview yet. But here's some quotes that I'm seeing that continuously are popping up. It says the political party has brainwashed people to do unholy things like Plan B birth control, encouraging abortion of babies, and he followed that up by saying, "Thou shalt not kill." That was in relation to the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Another one is, last year I made $115 million and still ended up $35 million in debt. This year I looked up and I just got $68 million returned.
I feel like we need to piece these.
I received them as random, so I don't know if they were a part of a.
But I'm saying,
long run or
like,
what.
these sound like separate talking points.
Yeah, I was just gonna read all of them and then we can go in, or you want to stop after one?
Yeah, just stop it.
Cool.
After
So
one.
the Democratic joint, I have no comment because, I mean, he sounds like an idiot when he talks politics to me, so I'll pass. But y'all can feel free to jump in.
That's fine. He can have his political opinions.
Yeah, 100%.
That's okay. I just don't think they're always super duper grounded. And
I mean, if he's coming from a Christian angle, then I guess that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Good for him.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna abort babies, or
Yeah, that's definitely a Christian angle.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'd say, because I definitely grew up
yeah,
totally against abortion.
Right.
That's fine.
And I honestly,
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that. But I don't see anything wrong with somebody having a choice either. Now that I'm grown, you know what I'm saying?
right.
100%. Yeah. He's entitled
for
to
him
opinion.
taking that angle, pointing at Christianity,
Mhm.
is just weird to me because you have all of these super Christians, and for those that don't see, I'm doing air quotes.
I see you.
that Christian Donald Trump as the Christian president. And I just don't understand that angle. Like how do you put a Christian?
just a double standard.
It's crazy. And they hated Barack Obama
Yeah.
because of
Because he's black.
he's black, definitely.
You don't say.
Of course. And because he had an Islamic background.
Right.
He has an Islamic name. He really didn't even have an Islamic.
Yeah, he doesn't have like
Yeah.
an actual Islamic.
He's
background.
actually supposedly a Christian, right?
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that was the big
I
controversy.
mean, I don't
with
trust
him.
any politician that says that they're a Christian, but I mean, he's supposed to be one.
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Well, this is
Sure.
the thing where a lot of people aren't digging deep into this. Like a lot of the things that Kanye is saying are also
Candace.
brought up by right wing racist people because they
He's just-
whenever you talk about Black Lives Matter, they'll always like, well, what about all the abortions? And it was like, we're talking about two different things.
Those are
Like, these
completely
are
two
a lot of the
separate
things that Kanye
issues.
has adopted. These are retorts to when we try to talk about police brutality, and then they were like, well, what about all these abortions? And it was like, wait a minute, weren't we talking about something else?
Let me get to this next comment. We done on that one? Can we go to the next one?
I mean, there's plenty you can say on that one.
Oh yeah, agree.
There's a whole lot you can say on that whole Christian angle because it's a slippery slope. Because
would you consider Kanye a super Christian now?
no,
You
he's
wouldn't?
still learning. He
Okay.
doesn't even know how to really articulate it correctly. Like even on the album when he's quoting scriptures,
Uh huh.
you can tell he probably just learned those couple scriptures that he's quoting.
And that's cool too.
In the
There's
context.
nothing wrong with
No,
that,
there's
man.
definitely nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying you can't say he's necessarily a super Christian at this point.
At this point, okay, fair enough. Let's see. So the next one is that one is really. I know what's going on with the money and the tax returns. That's cool. Here's a good one. Blacks do not drive culture.
That's
And,
that's a zinger right there.
Blacks do not drive culture, and blacks are in fact cultureless.
That's crazy.
Again,
That's crazy.
I'll just.
That's probably the thing I was most insulted by that he said.
Yeah, I'm. My goal is to not give too much energy to this. I'll just pass.
That's crazy.
Is there anything
That's it.
further on that, or is that all
There
he
is.
said?
Do you have the points that he said? Word culture.
No, but I probably can look them up if you guys go ahead and start.
Can you
talking.
also read the
Wearing shorts
definition
in
of
the winter.
culture
I'll
as
definitely
well?
pull
Can you
that
do
up.
that?
Yeah, I can pull up that. Go ahead.
That's so whack for him to say that shit.
Let me pose the question. What bothers you about that?
What bothers me about it is how are black people cultureless?
How is a black person saying black people are
How?
cultureless?
America is built on black culture. And what's crazy about America being built on black culture and not stating that no other cultures exist is we were brought over here against our will and created our own means of civilization and living,
Right.
which people then adapted to and took it and made their own. Something as simple as soul food even.
Right.
Slaves were giving scraps to make food, and they made the shit taste very fucking good, which in turn made soul food. It also created heart disease and high blood pressure and shit like that too.
100%.
But it definitely is a part of culture, right? And you have all kind of soul food, hipster restaurants that pop up, and you would consider that culture, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's just one thing. Music, that's a whole nother tangent.
If black people didn't have any culture, what have you been sampling from all this time?
Man,
Preach.
Well, what are you doing, Kanye West? You're black and you're
What
part
is
of the
it?
culture.
What is your-
like I just do,
You're
isn't
doing a
that
gospel
weird?
album. What is that?
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird within itself?
yeah.
Kanye West. He's like the Dave
He can
Chappelle
have
character.
that opinion again.
I'm glad.
He
I'm glad
can
said
have that opinion, but it's just so strange coming from him.
It really isn't.
And
That's it.
It's really not.
It's not.
yeah, nowadays I guess
It's really not. Like he's just a hot take person at the end.
it is.
He-
Man.
it's
I think
just-
it's
he's-
very. You're right.
Sunken place, man. God damn. I seen a picture of Kanye that he had on a jean outfit, and his jean jacket was buttoned
Buttoned
all the way up to the top, man.
Hey man, that brother can wear what he wants.
What
man.
the
It's
fuck,
cool.
B? Not, and this is what killed me about the shit because y'all kill me for being a Kanye West fan. Y'all have been doing it ever since this show started.
I
We
have
don't.
for
We don't
sure.
want to. We don't want to.
Y'all kill me for this shit.
I
We don't
didn't
want to promote
today,
violence
but
out here,
Listen,
man.
that has nothing to do with violence, sir.
Killed us.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying it's a strong word. Go
What are
ahead,
you
bro.
doing?
That's just like culture doesn't exist.
Go ahead,
with the
man.
black. All right.
Mike, that's black on black violence.
That's what that
that
is.
is.
Go ahead, man.
My man had his jacket buttoned all the way up to the top.
Okay.
And I remember a verse where he said, Y'all wear suits because y'all can't dress no more.
Yeah.
And I seen him with this fucking blue jean jacket buttoned all the way up to the top. Looking real suspect. This is a guy that used to rap about a lot of fashion and shit, right?
100%.
He has his own shoes.
Is he done with fashion now?
Hell no.
Nah,
he's gonna get his bag.
How
He's
do you
actually
expect him
doing
to
it-
pay his
He's
bills?
gonna get his bag.
I mean,
Through Jesus.
see,
Nah, okay.
he's actually doing a great job with his fashion though. All jokes
No,
aside.
he's not because he's buttoning his jean jacket
Not
up
his.
to the
I'm
top.
talking about the Yeezy brand, man. Like that.
Just like Michael Jordan is doing well
Come
with,
on,
with
man.
the shoes, and he's out here wearing no more drama boots.
with a
Man.
with a real baggy suit.
with the real.
Somebody
Man,
give me some-
Jordan wears jeans that has the bottom of his jeans
He stopped doing that, man.
will
Did
cover a Jordan. They look like Jinkos,
yeah, you
like
pointing
the,
at
the
me.
joints that you used to wear.
I had one pair.
Man,
Used to
my
put,
guy
Stop, Spoolz.
Kanye,
Stop.
put your
Pools.
pogs in.
Stop, pools.
What?
Plenty of
help
room.
that man.
What?
Sorry, move the mic. I know what he
Your
on.
Magic the Gathering
What?
cards.
Stop,
dude.
pools. Go ahead, man.
No,
I'm
done.
just saying, why is he out here with his jacket buttoned up like that,
Ooh,
B?
oh yeah,
Because he don't care. Because Jesus.
Stop. Listen,
Because Jesus.
No, so let's get back to the culture statement.
I got
That's
the full,
culture right there. That's bullshit culture. You got a goddamn jacket button up
I just
to the
think
top like
to
that.
say that there's no black culture. I mean, I know it's not as powerful, perhaps coming from me, is just
That's tough.
false.
That's tough.
All around.
There's no, say that again.
It's false to say there is no black culture.
Oh yeah, it is.
false.
It's very
Let me
false.
elaborate.
There's
on
no
the,
white
on the
culture.
comment.
There's no such thing.
We could absolutely talk about that.
But there is certainly a black culture thing. Yeah. That certainly exists because of the nature in which.
I'll give you another cultural gem.
That's real.
I'll give you another cultural gem.
There's
That's
white
real.
culture. We talked about it a few episodes ago.
I'll give you another cultural gem
What is
that
it?
that
Kissing
people
your
won't
dog in
even
the mouth.
consider culture though.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
Mayonnaise
it's something that
lovers.
everybody.
Sorry, Terry.
Well, whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but
We were having a conversation when you
I know.
started a conversation.
oh, okay, all right. But yeah, culture,
White
blues,
privilege.
definitely.
Yeah,
That's culture.
People know this.
yeah,
The blues.
yeah.
So during like the whole
Of course,
blues era,
jazz.
well, it's deeper than that because
Alright.
they were like when they were scatting and shit like that. They were talking about smoking weed, and people were scared of them for talking about smoking weed early on. Like if you research jazz and shit and the lyrics and all that, they were talking about smoking weed, and people were scared to let certain individuals listen to jazz because they were talking about smoking weed.
Wow.
Going towards
To well, American culture wise,
Sure.
because it was being smoked everywhere else, but kind of jazz, kind of
Well, that's why
Yeah.
it's
Brought it
criminal.
to
That's why it's
America.
criminalized as well.
right.
That was
Yeah,
a big part. That and Mexican Americans.
Yeah.
Or just Mexicans in general in the 30s and 20s and
Yeah.
shit. But the blues, we talk about culture, the blues. The blues is, I mean, you can say is derived at least in part from spirituals.
Yep.
You know, that were
Talk that talk,
that were,
Spoolz.
you know, used and sung in
That's
the
real.
fields, you know what I'm saying? Like by slaves, you know what I mean? That's
Drums
a part,
are
that's a part
cultural.
of it. Yeah, for sure. So just to say it doesn't exist is just false. So
Let me expand on the actual comment. I know you asked about
sorry,
that.
Terry. We were talking about. Sean said white culture does exist, and I was like, oh yeah. And Jay Moore was like, you mean kissing dogs in the mouth?
Oh, damn.
That's what, yeah. I was like,
Wearing shorts in the
mayonnaise,
winter.
Wearing shorts in the winter.
Yeah.
That was fun. I remember
That was a successful little sound bit that we did at that time.
100%.
A lot of people like that segment.
There's lots more
Indeed.
white culture out there too.
Gosh, man, where do we start? Using summer as a verb.
Having supper.
Yeah, having
Prison
supper.
industrial complex.
Yeah.
Oh,
I summered somewhere. Like yeah, that's white.
Yeah.
It's really white.
Summered in the Hamptons.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, hey,
All right, man.
That's language. That's culture, bud.
Let me read this comment, man. He says, we are culturalists. We don't have our own culture. We're assigned to culture vultures. We sign our life away. Our contracts are culture vultures. Think about everything.
That doesn't
I
even
can't-
make
I
sense.
can't-
I
let me
can't
finish
disagree
the
with
I'm
that
sorry,
part,
I'm sorry.
but the first part.
Let me finish the comment, then
Go
y'all
ahead.
can
I'm
cook.
sorry.
I see what he's saying.
We're signed to culture vultures. We sign our life away. Our contracts are culture vultures. Think about everything that's cultural. Taking the knee is cultural. Being on social media is cultural. Wearing high fashion is cultural. Pushing a foreign is cultural. All these things are not owned by our culture.
He's talking about ownership.
So we design the culture. What does it mean to do it? What does it mean to do it for the culture? You know, we hear that phrase a lot. That's why I do it for Christ.
All right.
Now,
So there's some truth in what he just said there, but like that doesn't mean the culture wasn't born from black people. You know,
The
it's
problem-
just been exploited.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
Kanye's problem is the way he words things and tries to describe and make a point, rather than gathering his thoughts all together and taking you down the right path to explain exactly what he says.
right.
He starts off with the Candace Owens moment. The same
Yeah.
thing she pretty much did on the what was the Revolt panel.
The panel, yeah.
You can't start off something with bullshit. He did the same thing on TMZ when he was talking about slavery.
That's bullshit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To say that you're culturalist and then say we signed to culture vultures, so
Right.
they're stealing your culture,
Right.
essentially.
Thus, you have no culture.
Thus, right. I understand that. But to just blatantly say that
It's dumb.
because people that take things for surface matter,
Right.
that's all they hear.
But do you agree with that? That as a result of that there is no culture?
No, I don't.
I do not.
Yeah,
That would mean that one is dependent on the other, right?
Right.
That culture is dependent on ownership, which then you have to define what ownership is.
Yeah.
it's just been exploited.
Yeah, monetarily,
Correct.
through capitalization of.
Because there's definitely culturisms, if that's even a word, that black people practice that still haven't made it to mainstream.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking from a consumer point of view, then okay, that makes sense as far as trying to be in control of ownership of everything, taking a Prince way of thinking, a Michael Jackson
Stevie
way
Wonder.
of thinking. Stevie,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They kind of control, or they controlled, Stevie Wonder still controls their own culture that they manifested. Motown still controls
They do.
the culture that they manifested.
Do they? Barry Gordy. I thought Barry Gordy sold that.
I
He did.
honestly
But they
don't
still,
know.
like, in a sense of, they still own masters. I have a cousin that wrote songs from Motown
That's dope.
early on.
Yeah.
She's still paid and still receives royalties.
I believe
That's
it.
love.
It might. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
and those are some timeless records back then.
right, and then
Don't
she's going to
disagree with
sign
that.
that over to somebody whenever she passes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's culture.
Yeah, 100%. And I think one of my coworkers brought up a point, and I guess this is why I have to go back and watch. There was the Big Boy interview. He said one thing that Kanye said that was dope. This is to him, was a part about black ownership, kind of what you're talking about, but also like owning property and developing a sustained living on your own in terms of growing foods and things of that nature. I think that's dope. And also he mentioned philanthropy, like certain things that he wanted to do to help people around the world, like building certain things, establishing certain living communities. All that shit is dope to me. Like if the conversation comes up from him doing all this, and at least it's something that has that positive of effect on another country here at home or whatever, that's dope to me. I have no issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual circus and just it as a whole, I'm choosing to stay away from. I'm not about to argue about it. I'm not about to, I don't want to do that. But I'm not about to sit here and lie and say I haven't heard a few positive things, even though it's from other people, that I think they're actually dope. So again, he could do what he wants. Like he said, I've always heard him say, free thinking. You're free to think what you want. You know what I'm saying? So people have a right to their opinion about his product, his movement, or whatever. It's cool, to each his own. But I'm not going to lie and say the philanthropy doesn't sound dope, because I hope that does happen. I think that would be ill, for sure.
One of my gripes with Kanye is how he keeps leaning back on his statement during Katrina when he said George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't keep carrying on.
Right.
I mean, because you're backing Donald Trump right now.
Right.
I mean, that's your guy. You rub elbows with him. You wear a MAGA hat and shit.
Right.
You probably fuck with Jussie Smollett
Well, in the same way that people are allowed to change
or Juicy.
when people are allowed to change for the better or whatnot, he can
Right.
say all he wants that he said that early on about George Bush, but the fact that he does the MAGA stuff now,
Exactly.
it's contradictory to his stance. So he went a different path.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But he keeps bringing that point up, and it's weird because you bring that up, but you have somebody that's in office right now that during the where was that, in Virginia,
What's that?
North Carolina. I
Carolina, when they had the tiki torches and shit.
think it was the Carolinas. I think
so.
No, that was
Charlottesville.
Virginia. That was Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, yeah,
Okay.
Virginia.
Virginia.
And
Oh, the march and the Confederate.
yeah,
Statue,
and they were
yeah.
saying these are good people,
On both sides.
but
We said they're bad people on both sides. is
Was that what it
Trump
was?
said, Yeah.
I thought he
No,
said,
he said
good
good
people.
No, that was the
Bad
thing.
people
Yeah,
on
no, he
both
said there were
sides.
good people on both sides.
yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because and then he also said he doesn't know who David Duke is.
there are countless examples
Things that he doesn't know.
of Donald Trump being a dipshit.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So anybody that makes the statement that you are the least racist person that anybody could ever meet, 9 times out of 10 are probably the most racist.
Honestly,
or definitely up there in the racist category. That's for sure.
honestly, man, I don't even think Kanye is infatuated with Trump based off politics. I really think he's infatuated with his personality. The fact that he doesn't give a shit. Like, I think Kanye loves the fact that Trump is quote unquote brave and thinks free and doesn't care and just, you know, is just out here and doesn't give.
It's the thing
But
is,
I think he relates to that though, in my opinion. Narcissistic, all that shit. Like, I think that's what it is.
it's not that
see
they
that.
think free. It's just that they don't think.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
I don't think either of them think
When you
at all.
But
I
I'm
don't think
just saying-
Trump thinks at
No.
all. I
But
don't
what-
think Kanye does either.
But I'm thinking that I think that's what pulls him to him. I think that's what it is. I don't even think it has nothing to do with the, you know, policies or.
But if
or
you're
whatever.
gonna back somebody, you're backing them.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
I feel like everybody in this room, we're a representation of each other. So
Right,
if
for
one of
sure.
us go out and do some shit, that falls back on all of us,
Agreed.
essentially, right?
Agree.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's the truth, right?
Facts.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're backing somebody,
Mm-hmm.
his stances become your stances. Unless you're openly saying, "Well, I don't fuck with that." I mean,
Yeah.
that
You
that's-
denounce a
that's my
certain
guy,
part or
but
say, yeah,
I don't rock that way. You know what I'm saying?
Not
If
bad
you're
at
not
that.
doing that, then that's what you represent. Simple as that.
well, once again, it just comes down to him being a contrarian, which I think I brought up one time before.
A while back.
And the thing is, he just regurgitates things. It's like he's one of those people who got all his knowledge from memes. Like he keeps repeating this whole thing about, the Republicans freed the slaves. I was like, well, let's do a deep dive on that. But he's not
Exactly.
interested in
Right.
doing that sort of thing. And he doesn't realize that's another white nationalist talking point.
But
You know
that's
what-
also what people just to, like quickly on that. Like those parties switched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
There's a
simple
lot
high
back
school
in the
shit.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's high school,
absolutely. Like
government class shit.
Yep.
If you paid attention, you would have known.
yep.
You know what's crazy about that? The speech, and this is another thing that jumped out to me, is the speech about Lincoln and it was actually the Republican Party that freed the slaves and all that. That speech was in the middle of Utah, right? So obviously that crowd is going to be predominantly white. I don't remember seeing that speech
When he went to
being
Howard.
given at Atlanta or Jamaica,
He
Queens.
said some dumb shit
But was it that dumb shit?
at
No,
Howard.
he did not.
He did not.
It wasn't that dumb shit. but
That's
he
what I'm
said some
saying.
dumb
But
shit at
I
Howard.
think that's strategic. I think that's done on purpose because your ass is gonna get roasted if you go to Jamaica, Queens and talk about the Republicans and Lincoln and they freed slaves and all that shit.
But he's
There's
kind
a
of like
reason-
a character now. Like
There's a
he's like
reason he did that.
like a WWE character.
Yeah.
He's just
he's the Miz.
just like Trump is. Just
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes back to, and I'm going to make this quick, him not being actually interested in doing a deep dive on the knowledge, and he doesn't want to, so he'll listen to people who already back him up, like Candace Owens, but when he's probably challenged by someone who he considers a friend, like 𝗏𝗏 𝗀𝐃𝐒, he's not trying to have those conversations.
Agreed.
Otherwise, yeah, that's amazing. I mean, he is friends with 𝗏𝗏 𝗀𝐃𝐒.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So
It's on his
it's,
first album.
yeah,
it's just
they got a good relationship.
it's interesting.
that's bizarre because I mean, if you think of 𝗏𝗏,
Yeah,
he's
very outspoken.
Yeah,
Go
but I'm
tweet-
sure he's also still a very like tolerant to a degree person. I
you know
would
he
think.
doesn't. You followed him on Twitter though. I mean, like he goes at
I
every,
used to years ago.
but I'm just saying, like he's.
Yeah, 𝗏𝗏 is out
It
there.
doesn't matter who you are. He'll
He'll call
he'll
you
He got
on your
time
foolishness.
every time.
Yeah, they got some history though.
Yeah, he's
those
got
two,
time.
a lot.
And I honestly think, I'm sure they're probably still cool. It's just he's been able to witness said growth. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been there from the beginning to now. Relationship probably has changed, but who knows what that is? I haven't heard him speak about.
Yeah,
that, so
I didn't mean.
I
to,
don't know.
I didn't mean to make 𝗏𝗏 out to be his
No, I
best
feel
friend
you.
or anything.
Yeah, I feel you.
but,
I feel you. But I'd be curious. I actually would be curious to hear, what 𝗏𝗏 thinks. You know what I'm saying about a couple of the things that we've talked about because he's gonna keep it a buck.
I'm surprised Rhyme Fest hasn't said anything lately.
That's a good point.
He did for a while. I think he just stopped.
Yeah, because
You know
they had the
what
I think they
Donda.
might be cool
his
again.
Charity, I remember.
Yeah, they had the Donda issue for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then I think a clip popped up with him in the room with Kanye and Kim or something. And they talked about something. I don't know, because they go. You talk about go way back.
I mean,
Like, yeah.
his #1 record,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jesus Walks,
With that pen.
has a co-author of Rhyme Fest.
Yes, sir.
Yes, who of all actually is a
Che.
Muslim, which is crazy.
Man, that's tough. Let's shout out some partners real quick. I didn't realize we went that long.
Yeah, I just don't want people to hype beats for Jesus. That's all. Let's just put a bow on that.
I don't think Jesus needs that.
Not at all. Shout out to Coleman.
But I'm
Dental.
also not Christian, so I don't know if that's the case. So.
Shout out to Coleman Dental. Make sure you get your teeth is right. Bringing Down the Band, as always, is the hub. Make sure you go to YouTube and search Bringing Down the Band. Subscribe. Also hit the bell for the notifications. No Bad Ideas. You'll see hats placed around here from them. They've always shown us love as a partner. Indie CD and vinyl as well. They take care of us for our raffles. They always lace us with exclusive wax. So we really appreciate them. Printfinity, as always. Support your local businesses. They got some great artists that are going to be coming out down the road.
Indiana sweatshirts are always available.
Yes,
Sweatshirts,
sir.
tees, whatever.
Hit that man up. He's a CEO, owns his own business, so I like that.
He's a CEO.
He is a CEO.
I am not a CEO. I am not Rick Ross.
What am I? I see what you did there. What am I missing? Did I get everybody?
I think so.
No Bad Ideas. Okay, bringing out a band.
You're not the boss.
Got everybody. All right. So I don't want this to pass. Let's talk about this real quick because we can all relate. Ironman turned 23.
It's crazy.
1996.
That's it? Just 23?
23. Lone and I have always talked about the beat for Fish. That's one of my. I think we could say that's one of our
That can't
favorites
be right.
together.
96.
96.
That doesn't sound right, but
Let me look.
It is.
Let me Google it.
I believe you.
I think it's 96.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But this album is crazy, man.
that's a true master beat, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah. But that's one of my favorite, just woo, whatever you want to call it, in the library joints, period.
Oh,
from
for
everything
sure. The
that
whole
they've done.
song is incredible. I will go as far sometimes. I put that and Cuban Links as 1A and 1B sometimes, and people look at me like I'm crazy.
It
I
depends
don't-
on what
And
day
say
you
Cuban
ask me.
Links is
So
way
1A
better.
and 1B.
I don't look at you like you crazy.
Like they're both unbelievable. Like
Kinda
they
neck
could
and
have
neck.
been a double album.
I don't know if you can go.
That shit's so fucking good.
Can you go
Yeah,
wrong
it's
either
good.
way? You can't. Like
I like
both of
Cuban
those
Links
albums are-
more.
You do.
Most people do. Yeah, I
And
appreciate
Iron
that.
Man's not even my favorite Ghost album, but
It's not.
Supreme
it's good.
Clientele for the
See,
record.
Yeah,
I
Supreme
definitely
Clientele.
don't
Iron Man's
probably-
got like that much over Supreme Clientele.
You think so?
Man, I don't know.
I'm not mad at that though.
I mean, I like Iron Man too, so I mean,
Just
they-
front to back is
I remember the Daytona 500 video. Like, I remember this album,
Burnout?
260, all that. It's heat. Like this
Nah,
whole
it is. It's very good.
this whole album had heat, man.
𝐀𝐁𝐎 is a dope song. And I usually don't like songs like 𝐀𝐁𝐎.
And I'm looking at the track
But it's
list.
a dope
Motherless
song.
Child.
Motherless
Fish,
Child is so good.
Assassination
Yes,
Day.
sir.
Assassination
Come
Day
on.
is so good.
Capadonna is all over this album. Him, let's see, Cap is on what? 1, 2, 3.
Probably
He has
Ray.
on his Winter
that
Wars
was you
verse.
guys doing actually.
What, Cap being all over this
Getting
album?
Cap on there.
Word.
There was issues where they were kind of stuck writing shit,
Yeah.
and you guy was like, "Why don't we go get Cap?" And that's how kind of Capadonna became.
He's on
more-
the cover of the album too.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he had a lot to do? He was on a number of Cuban Links tracks too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where we got introduced to Capadonna.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, man.
His verse on Winter Wars is one of the best hip hop verses I've ever heard.
Period.
From Cap.
No,
from anyone.
period.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Period.
Wait a minute.
In
All that
hip-hop.
I got is you. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't shed
Tough.
a thug tear
Right.
hearing
That's
that
tough.
record, there's something wrong with you.
I cannot remember who it
A thug
was.
tier.
Who was that it was one of my homies. I can't remember. That asked a question about All That I Got Is You versus Dear Mama. It was my guy Jesse. Shout out to the homie Jesse.
Well, they're a little different.
Yeah.
I think they in the same vein.
One
though.
is specifically. I thought you were gonna say.
I think he.
I like
something
Tupac
else.
shed so many tears
If
and
I mis-
pain.
Jay, I
my-
apologize if I'm misquoting you, but I
That's my
thought that was a
favorite
comparison.
Tupac song. Shed so many tears.
Yeah. What about
So good.
pain though?
It's a great song too.
Pain's a great song. But I don't, man, All That I Got Is You is just,
That's good.
that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough to beat
That's
that.
like more
Middle of the
childhood
projects
growing
playing the
up.
piano.
That's fair. Yeah.
Where Dear Mama is specifically
Just
for
about
his
mom.
mother. Yeah, but he does mention his mom obviously on
Yeah, like it's like,
I
I don't know, man.
All That I Got Is You.
Yeah, that joint was so, like, it was vivid. Like, when you watch the video and you know how he describes roaches out the cereal box, like all that, like that joint is, that's
Like I'm
heavy.
gonna listen to Iron Man on the way home.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
always
So
say, what are you doing on our turf, punk?
All
What's
except
I
that?
wanna
the,
talk to Smoke.
The lesson of
the
Sonny,
Education of Sonny
education of
Carson.
Sonny Carson.
Education is Sonny Carson.
yeah, famously known for Here and what
Haven't seen
Mobb
that in a long
Deep
time.
and they a lot
Common.
of Commons use that. Yeah, that movie's pretty bad, but it's pretty funny also if you watch it for the right reasons.
We
Shout
should
to my homie
start
Lil
a
Brown.
tradition where we just watch kind of bullshit ass movies,
and review them.
and we can just, I don't know. Remember, like, what was that show that used to come on?
Mystery
It was
Science 3000.
Mystery Science Theater. We should just watch bullshit movies and commentate that shit.
That'd be fun.
I like
We
it.
could do the same for albums.
We could.
Yeah.
We definitely could do the same for albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Matter of fact, I think people would like to hear us, watch.
What's a good
or listen.
bullshit
Listen.
movie?
Yeah, good
A
question.
good bullshit movie.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call
Killer
the Education of
Clowns
Sonny
from Outer
Carson a
Space.
bullshit movie.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Rapping with Mario Van Peebles.
I've
Side
never
note,
seen that.
speaking of hip hop movie, yeah, that's not great. I want to say Crush Groove turned something years old this week too. I
Oh,
can't
word,
remember how
okay.
many. That's a classic.
That's classic
movie,
material.
yeah.
Yeah.
With Sheila
That's-
E. Yeah.
I'd be down to watch all the not bullshit movies, but all the like classic hip hop joints. There's a lot of good ones. Yeah.
Well,
Like Crush
maybe I
Groove
shouldn't say
and
bullshit.
Breakin' and
Maybe
like-
maybe I should name them more so we really liked them when we were younger, and now that we watch them when we're older,
We were like, this
They
is
really
kind
not
of
that
like,
cold.
what the fuck is this?
Like Belly.
I mean, I'm
No.
talking like older than that.
Oh, older
man.
than Belly. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to stop talking about Belly.
Yeah, you
Listen,
always shit on Belly.
I'm sorry, man.
And I'm not saying Belly's like a great film,
Which
Man, Nas was so amazing. in
Come
that.
on, Lone. Don't start, man.
he does have that one part down pat.
Africa
part?
is far.
Yeah. nah, son. See,
Nah,
B.
son.
Nah,
lost my pager.
It's like, oh,
He was hungry the whole
son,
movie, man.
oh,
Stop,
B.
man.
He was hungry.
I feel you,
Sincere.
It's like this, son. It's like, what are you fucking saying? Just say it.
man. what you say? Since
Sincere.
That's great. Sincere.
Yo.
We ain't gonna keep dogging him like that though, man. But nah,
That's funny,
we should
though.
watch. I'm talking like old movies, like so the Dolomite's My Name movie just came out.
Right.
Let's watch some old Dolomite movies.
No, we definitely can
You
go,
wanna watch, like, Blaxploitation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with
Some
I
of
got
those-
Hell Up in
Watch
Harlem on
the-
VHS.
Some of those are
That's what's
trash.
up.
Tornado.
Some of those are trash.
Car Wash. That was like one of my
Car
favorite
Wash.
movies back in the
Car
day.
Wash used to
Like
come
Breakfast
on
at
TBS.
Tiffany's.
I mean, that's a top 5 blaxploitation
Yeah.
film.
Some of that
say.
blaxploitation was trash, though. I will watch it.
That's
for
a
Pam,
white privilege film.
Breakfast at Tiffany's, definitely.
Yeah.
Pam Grier
There's
was cold,
88
though.
Blocks from Tiffany's. That's a really good documentary if you've never seen that.
Oh yeah.
Really good. That's
I'll
been
tell you.
sampled in a lot of hip hop too.
The most recent movie we should watch that
That's
we can talk
trash?
about. I
That's
wouldn't even
okay?
necessarily say it was trash.
Okay.
Probably be Snow on the Bluff.
Oh, I love
dude,
Snow on the
I'm a
Bluff.
fan.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can watch that and talk about it.
Curtis
def-
Snow.
Shout out to Curtis Snow, man.
That's what's up.
You might see a robberer, a Keelan.
Could see a Keelan.
Yeah.
Might see a robber.
Might see a robberer.
Banging in Little Rock.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Let's watch that.
The
Pretty sure
original,
it's on
not the
YouTube
follow-up.
somewhere.
Yeah, I think you said it was on
Yeah.
I think
YouTube.
Jay Moore said it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Curtis Snow, though.
Scraping and screwing.
At Bennigan's. What y'all know about Bennigan's?
Hot Bennigan's dinner.
Man.
Hey, Curtis Snow was that dude, though. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man.
He had some loyal dudes with him.
He
All right,
did.
man.
What you want to watch, Lone? Give me
You
something
wanna know?
other than.
He said Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, he gave
Nah,
you
we
some-
ain't run.
We
We
ain't
ain't
watching
doing
that.
that.
Yeah, I'd rather not watch that film.
Give us a good movie we should watch.
I got nothing, man.
Nothing.
No.
You have no motion pictures in mind?
Based upon what you guys are talking
The
about,
criteria? Yeah.
not
Like
really.
an older movie that
Not really.
You guys ever seen Heaven is a Playground?
Yes, with Bo Kimball.
Yep.
I've never seen that.
Michael Jordan was supposed to be in that movie. That's
maybe I did. I don't know.
He was like, "No, I'm not doing this." That's how they got Bo Kimball.
I seen the Earl Manigault.
It's quite a
movie.
downgrade. I mean, no disrespect to Bo Kimball. He was dope.
That's a huge downgrade.
Rest in peace to Hank Gathers. By the way.
Facts.
I seen the Earl Manigault joint with what's his name that played Earl?
Cheadle.
Don
Cheadle.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Kevin Garnett played Wilt Chamberlain or something in that movie.
What movie?
In the Manigault. Remember, I
Did
had
he?
the NBA. I think he was supposed to be Wilt in that movie. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have
That's
found.
terrible casting.
That's awful casting.
He's about to be in a movie coming out soon. I just saw it in the theater. I
word?
went and saw the Joker movie.
Man, I'm mad I ain't seen that.
You
yet.
still ain't seen it?
Nope.
I haven't either.
You know what it is? Sad and dark.
That's
Very.
fine.
That sounds good.
I rock with it.
Yeah. People
You're not going to walk out feeling good.
like people
At all.
People will argue.
Or
this-
like,
this
oh,
could
that
be-
was cool. Or there was a cool action scene.
This-
Like,
none of
there's
that.
None of that.
This is a whole like this could be
Not
an
to spoil it.
this could absolutely be an argument, but people
Oh,
talk about
man.
Marvel versus DC movies, right?
Okay.
But the Dark Knight movies are probably the best of all of them.
Yeah.
No.
But Joker's not a DC movie though.
Technically,
It's based
it
off a
is.
DC character.
There it is.
It's just not in what they call the DC extended universe.
Right.
So we
Let me-
can't count
See, I
it.
don't
I
know shit
wasn't-
about any of this.
I guess I wasn't suggesting. I wasn't
great.
suggesting that. I
People
guess
get
what I'm
fired up.
I wasn't.
Stop, man.
I wasn't suggesting that. What I'm saying is most people love Marvel movies as opposed to DC movies. But to me, Dark Knight's
Dark Knight is
Those-
probably,
both of
and,
them.
and we're
Is that
doing a
fall?
nerd speak segment now. Shout out to Brendan.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to Brendan.
Dark
Watch
Knight
Nerd
is
Speak.
probably one of the best collection of movies, comic book wise, ever released, in my opinion.
I'm not mad at
shit's
that.
amazing.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
There's the two.
three.
films.
I think there's three.
Dark
of them.
Knight.
Dark Knight.
Dark
and,
Knight Rise. No. Dark Knight
I'm
Rise.
trying to remember if I've seen all.
Batman
of them.
Begins, The
Batman
Dark Knight,
Begins.
and Dark Knight Rises.
There we
Dark
go.
Knight Rise. Yeah.
There we go.
That's a good trilogy.
Which
Yeah.
one was the one with Two-Face with Harvey Dent?
The Dark Knight.
And then which one was Joker?
Dark Knight. They were both in the same movie.
So who else was in the other ones?
Bane.
Bane.
Oh yeah, Sarah was telling me that.
Yeah, Bane was in that one.
The
I
first
don't-
one,
I
the
never
first
saw
one was
that.
a Scarecrow.
Yeah,
That's
she was
right.
good. No,
Was
that
he
movie's-
like a weird rapist or something?
No, we didn't go there with it. But
No, I'm thinking of the one Bruce Willis was in back in the day. This has nothing to do with
That was
Batman.
You talking about
Unbreakable.
one with Sam Jackson?
No.
I know
Jessica
what you're
Biel,
talking
I think,
about.
was in
I
it.
can't call the name of the movie, but
With Bruce Willis.
yeah, I can't think of the
He
name
was like
of it.
a detective, and he saved her from being like
Oh, you talking about
raped
Sin
or some
City?
shit. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
that
I was
one.
thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, brain goes all over.
yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of Sin City.
No.
I never saw that.
I liked
There was
him.
a second one. I never saw that one.
It's cool.
But I did just recently rewatch. The Glass, Unbreakable, and what was the other one? There's a movie that's part of
To
the
do with the split personalities.
Yeah.
I think it was called Split.
Split. Yeah. Those three together are actually pretty good.
They are.
I'm not
M.
familiar.
Night Shyamalan.
Say it again now.
M. Night Shyamalan.
No, he wasn't a weird rapist. He was like he went to like an insane asylum or
Yeah.
something. That was
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
No, it was like the police commissioner's son or whatever. And
Yeah.
he was yellow. Yeah, it was crazy.
Let's see. Old
I never
movies.
say his name right. That's why I just say Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
But he
Shyamalan.
appreciates that.
Shyamalan. Sorry.
I remember watching his. What was that one movie that everybody loved?
With
The
Bruce
Village.
Willis.
The Village.
Oh.
The Village.
Oh, I
Right.
thought you were going to say The Sixth Sense.
Sixth
No, well,
Sense.
The Sixth Sense was his movie too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember watching The Village, like, oh, this is about to be great, and then the ending happened. I was like, it was
Not
cool.
great.
I was like, oh man, it could have. I just wanted more from it.
The Pillage by Capadonna was dope.
The Pillage.
Yes, back
The
to hip-hop.
Pillage.
Yeah.
That's a good album.
It was a really good album. Yeah.
I
Donna.
think Milk This Cow was on that.
It was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I used to play that one.
It's a dope
He
song.
had some heat. Now, what came after that?
How we go from these M. Night Shyamalans
Mike
to
did it.
Because you mentioned The Village and then
Yeah,
you
I
thought
said
of The
The
Village.
I'm over here trying to think of a movie to throw out there too, and I can't think of
We
one.
ran out of time, man. You got to give us something.
About South Central.
Yeah.
There's some funny stuff.
Ain't
in
this
South
here,
Central.
man?
Did you see this a man standing here?
New Jack.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
New
he
Jersey
was a
Drive?
man.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Spike Lee film, if I'm not mistaken.
New
He
Jersey
produced
Drive
it.
is
He
actually
produced
still
it.
good though.
What,
It
what-
was good.
When y'all hating on In Too Deep, we can watch that.
No, we was just hating on that scene.
Yeah.
Love it.
No,
Yeah.
it's bad news.
Terrible.
Shaheem was in that movie too, man.
He was in Original Gangsters too.
Filmed in Gary, Indiana.
That's going to do it for episode 157. Make sure you guys go to YouTube and subscribe to the Bringing Down the Band page. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so we can keep you in the loop with everything that we have for the entire crew.
And get you a Drew Down part.
I like that. 15
Can
packs of
you
smoke.
feel me?
We'll see y'all next week. Peace.